Hello everyone. I've been working on a little project, and I think I've gotten as close as I'm going to get to finished without user input. Oh, sorry, uh, audience input. So I thought I'd share what I'd come up with. Something for the guild, as you can see. For those of you that don't know, the guild is a D&D 4th edition adventure group. That has, I don't know, somewhere around 100 people, give or take, at various times of the year. And we have our own base with a bar and living quarters for everyone, which I've been steadily working on over a few weeks. So, as I said, I thought this would be a good time to show off what I'd made. So let's go in. First is the tavern portion, which is where all the adventures start, unless someone's trying to be smart and not start in the tavern. We've got lots of tables for people to drink and eat, and especially drink at. I think there's a. This is all taken pretty much directly from the map on the as the guild's home base page for Roll20, and you know, a few liberties taken here and there. Basic, but mostly I tried to stay faithful to the place. We've got a nice bar at the back here. Got a drinks rack. I'm sure we could put some drinks in there for people. There's a large fireplace or slash stove area at the back here. We've got a raised up portion for actually, I was gonna say it's for more important people, but we're all equal in the guild, right? Maybe this is where the Paragon's sit. But there's just more seating area here. We've got a little bathroom area here. At the back, go check it out. You have a small back room for private meetings, or maybe if maybe this is the area where Administrator Matt sits when he needs to be gathering adventurers and giving them quests and stuff. And on the other side we have the kitchen area. Not as much as I'd like to have here, but unfortunately Minecraft isn't the most easy when it comes to designing things like kitchens and things like that. We've got the storeroom at the back here. I know these are just blocks of wood, but you know, let's pretend these are barrels of ale and food and other sorts of stuff. And that takes us out the back here, where we've got this open barbecue pit, where I'm sure some of the adventurers love to bring their hunting catches and just stick them on a spit over the fire. So that's about it for the tavern portion. Let's go take a look. As you can see here, we've got a path that leads from the front to the house area, and one from this side as well. We'll take a look at the back. Let's take a look at it from the front for the start. We have the main living portion, and we have Epic Tower at the side here. Since we've started getting Epic players, I'd imagine they'd branch out and form their own sort of living area. And of course, it's especially showy. You know, showing off. We've got diamond and gold blocks holding up because you know they're freaking loaded. So at the back here we have the stables area. So when people are about to go off adventuring, they'll probably stable their horses and other mounts, wyverns, spiders, I don't know. And when they get back in, they'll leave them here before they go back inside in to drink and reminisce and count up their loot. And then we've got the portal that leads to to where all the mounts are stored, because the way I figure it, we've got like 4 or 5, or in here, we've got 4 stables, and we have God knows how many mounts. Like half the guild has a mount, if not more. That's not going to fit in here. We're not going to cram them all in here. So the way I figure it, there's probably a portal out back here that leads to this pocket dimension with fields for all the horses and animals to graze. And then whenever it's time to adventure, a handler goes in and pulls out and brings out the ones that are needed. That's the way I imagine it, at least. So, this is the entrance to the living area. So immediately we come in, we got some important reminders of how adventuring works here. And again, these are and this is pretty much all lifted from the map. So if you've noticed on the map, there are actually paintings there, but obviously not those paintings. So we have a waiting area over here to go into Administrator Matt's study here, and of course we have the man himself. I'm sure Mr. Matt would have a painting of himself in his meeting room. And through the door here, we have his bedroom. Not the best view, unfortunately. You can just basically see the hedge outside and people walking past. But he probably doesn't spend much time here anyway. Got a nice fireplace as well. I mean, there's lots of room for decoration if anyone would like to suggest things they'd like to see in here, especially Matt, since it is technically his room, even though he actually hates Administrator Matt. Then we've got a little side room, maybe like a little drinks room, into the main dining area. So I'm guessing this is where guests are received and catered to, and maybe this is where some of the Paragons have their breakfast served to them. Got a nice picture at the back here to remind people never get on the boat, because the DM is always itching to bring out the Kraken. And then through here we've got a nice armory for people to suit up when they're done with their breakfast and they're ready for adventure. And that takes us down to the main hallway area. We've got an excellent description of people in the guild here, I think. I'm not sure if someone put this here as a commendation to how people act, or as a warning that this isn't how you should act, and then they just took it the wrong way. I'd like to think it's the second one. Then we've got a little meeting/conference room with some sort of cage here. I can imagine that someone caught a monster and stuck it in there. We've got a storeroom here with all sorts of chests, and I'm sure they have all sorts of weird things stored in here. After all, when you go adventuring, you get all sorts of weird things to store in storerooms that you'll probably never use. Actually, you know what? That's probably where the item sale thread is. All of the items on sale just get lumped in here until someone buys them. Back here, we've got the kitchen area. Got to feed 100 adventurers. You're gonna need a lot of food prep time. There's probably a huge staff just working here night and day. And I think better if we take it from this side. We have the gambling room, at least like the common room. We've got all hail the dice, our lord and saviors. We've got a couple of other nice paintings here. I would there is actually a picture of a guy on the guild map, and I imagine, you know, maybe this is some sort of wealthy patron who actually paid to have some of this built. Got a nice dragon picture, because why not? And some random heavily armored guy, because, you know, if that doesn't say adventuring, what does? So, from the main area, we've got the Paragons, the crafting room, and epic tower upstairs. That's where they all stay. And then we have the heroics, the portals, and the jacuzzi downstairs. So I'd say let's go downstairs first. So, first of all, this is what makes the basement dangerous. You never go down here. Unless you're Paragon and you have protection. That's why that's why I put the lava there, because if you're Paragon, obviously, you know, a little lava damage isn't going to matter. You probably have some sort of ritual cast on you to stop you from getting damaged. There's actually nothing down there at the moment, but I can take suggestions for what should go in there. Probably the mind flayers in the basement, for example. And then we have a convenient lever here. And this is the portal room. So we've got a central tuning orb, so that each of these portals can be tuned to where people need to go. Because let's face it, there is a whole lot of portal travel in this game, and there probably needs to facilitate bulk travel sometimes. And then we also have the door to Sigil. It's inactive right now, but when it is active, you just open the door and you walk through to Sigil. I liked designing the portal room. Well, you can also close the door from this end, but then you can't see the pistons and stuff. Okay, the important thing is to have it closed here. And then over here we have the Heroics Barracks. This is where all the heroic characters stay. We've got some nice motivational talk here. And they're all clumped together because who can afford accommodations for all of the heroic characters? Let's face it, half of them don't even stay past the first few levels. So, you know, why give them a room when we can just have them all bunked down here? You know, it's kind of like a... You know, they can all get to know each other. Maybe haze each other, who knows. Got a couple of bathrooms here, because, you know, have some. And through here is... Well, we got what I imagine to be some clothing racks and whatnot. And the jacuzzi. We've got a nice jukebox so we can put on some kick-ass tunes while everyone is resting and relaxing. We've got some nice internal heating here. Don't even need to heat it. You just have lava do it for you. And, oh no, it died. Wait a minute. Let's fix this. And as an ode to the mind flayers in the basement, there should be a squid in there, because there had to be a squid in the jacuzzi. And then we've got like a towels rack over here, I imagine. Yep, so this is the jacuzzi. It's a shame I can't make some bubble effects like some water jets. So, let's move on. Let's head upstairs. So, first off, immediately to the left, we have the crafting room. This is where Leaxis and Willow and anyone else who wants to craft spend most of their day. We've got various benches to work at. We've got an enchanting table, got some armor stands. We've got the lava that set my entire building on fire. I spent ages trying to put that on, fix it. It took me like 2 hours to fix all the damage. And the reason was because this item frame was here. So the item frame set on fire. That was the one mistake I made in this. But yeah, we've got all sorts of things here. We've got some display items that probably crafted and no one wanted. And in the back here we have the storeroom for the crafting area. We've got all sorts of magical doodads and equipment that people might want to use. There's probably chests full of residium in here. I should have maybe picked up some sort of dust item and stuck it in. Oh no, it's raining. Let's fix that. It's a day as well. So yeah, this is where the crafting magic happens. Next, I think we will visit, there's a bathroom there, Epic Tower. It's obviously quite bright and exciting looking, I'm sure. As I said, outside we've got the gold and diamond blocks to show, so that the epics can show off how freaking rich they are. And through here, I actually didn't name these. Let's name them right now. Sign. I was going to put it over there, but I wanted to have the buttons. So we have. Actually, no. We'll do better to have it here. We have Leaxis, spelling check, and we have Eucla. Actually, wait. This should go over here. Now they're kind of opposite each other. So in Leaxis' room, so for each of the rooms, people can absolutely tell me what they want to see in these rooms. But for Leaxis and Eucla, I've already gone to I've already taken the liberty of putting a few things in. So there's this is her bedroom area. Got a nice seating area. a nice seat over here by the window, which can look out things, nature. Got a nice little personal bathroom there. And then I'm thinking each of the epics get a special room. In Liax's case, it is a crafting room, obviously. We've got some various stands and tables to help her with the crafting, and there is a direct line to the crafting room here, so people can, if there's high-level crafting to do, they can just pass it over the counter to her, and she can get to work. Let's go check Euclid's room, shall we? So Euclid's is a bit more traditional in the way it's set up. We've got the bathroom back here. We have the bedroom, and the bed is big enough for Breeze if she wants to stay over. And then, don't fail at doors. Through here we have Euclid's little man cave. You can just sit back, enjoy a cold brew, and listen to some tunes, and get out of the, get out from certain someone if she's staying over. So that takes care of the epics. Let's look at the rooms that I've set up for the Paragons. Now these are all bare bones because I haven't done anything with them yet, because I want people to be able to decide what they want. So each of the rooms are basically around the same size. They each have a bed in them with some side tables here. And it's the same all the way around. You know, they're different they're slightly different sizes and shapes to accommodate for different tastes. Like someone might want a boring square room. Some people might want something a little more, like something off to the side where they could put a little bench or some bookcases, things like that. And actually, I haven't put some windows here. I should put a window here where the corridor meets the wall. Yeah, exterior wall. And this just goes on for ages. I also haven't put windows in here because I can put coloured glass in. The same for the floor. I can put some coloured carpet in so people can pick what colours they want to see in their rooms. But yeah, I have made enough rooms, as you can see here, for each Paragon character. So each Paragon character gets their own room, as opposed to the Heroics, who only get one big room between them. So if you guys want to claim a room, go for it. Tell me which room tell me what floor you want it on, what kind of room, what you want to see in there, and I will make it for you. So, as for we've got an interesting room here that's more of an L shape. I think further up we've got a little bit more of an irregular shape. As the rooms go higher up, the more irregular they get, because I was able to fit more rooms in, but it meant compromising the shape a little bit, which isn't so bad. And each of the floors has their own bathroom as well, because it'd suck if you have to go downstairs to use the bathroom. So yeah, like I said, if you want to decide if you want special items in there, like bookcases or benches or things like that, and decide on what colours you want for your carpets and your windows, and let me know like which floor you want your room on, etc., etc. Let me know and I'll make it for you. It's kind of on a first come first serve basis. That's why I've left all the rooms unclaimed. So you know, the first people to watch this and let me know are going to be the ones to get preferential treatment on their rooms. And the same goes for the epics. If they want anything else added into their rooms, absolutely let me know. I have future-proofed this a little bit. This is going to be where the next set of epics goes, so Althea is going to have a room here, and then, I don't know, probably Kinna is going to be the next one to claim epic, who knows. And I will build them out as necessary. As for the Paragons, I think how many rooms do I have? Like 80-ish? I think I got enough for the Paragons plus about 4 or 5 to future-proof it. And then when we get even more of them, I'll just build another story on top of this. But yeah, so that is the guild. I hope you guys appreciate it. It's taken me quite a bit of time to build all this in, and I do hope to neaten it up a little bit here and there. Maybe add a little more outside. And maybe at some point I will extend it and make Guildton, Guildsville, Guildopolis. You know, add some extra buildings, some houses, and the like anything that might exist in a normal town that would exist in D&D. But for now, this is it. This is the guild. And it took me, I don't know, it took me many days spread out over about 3 or 4 weeks to make, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. But yeah, if people have input, suggestions or whatnot, if there's other buildings or extra things you want to see, or extra details you want to see added in, let me know. And as I said, for the Paragons and the Epics, let me know what you want to see in your rooms, how you want them decorated, etc. So, thank you for watching. That is all. Welcome to the guild.